Hello and welcome to Flow by Live. Today I will be taking you through your full body stretch that you can use in the morning to wake up, at the end of a long workout, if you want to just stretch everything out, or really at any point in the day if you just need a moment to ground and reset and come back into your body. So let's get started seated in the middle of your mat or wherever you are with your legs crossed, and take a few minutes just to ground into the moment. We'll breathe together for a few rounds. Let's inhale for 4, hold it at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 4. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling for 4, hold it at the top, and exhale. Last one, inhale for 4, hold it at the top, and exhale. Let's bring your hands above your head. Now we'll bring your right hand behind your back, your left hand to your right knee, and we'll twist to the right. Inhaling as you lengthen your spine, exhale as you twist a little bit deeper. And then inhale, we'll come back through center. Let's go the other way. Right hand to your left knee, left hand comes behind your back. Imagine that your left arm is like a second spine really holding you up. And then we'll twist to the left. Inhaling as you lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Continuing to focus on your breath throughout this class. Each exhale allowing you to go a little bit deeper. Inhale back through center. And then let's bring your hands to your knees. You can lean forward a little bit. Maybe bring your feet a little bit flatter to the mat. Dip your left shoulder, look over your right knee. Feel the stretch in your left shoulder here. Sorry, look over your right shoulder, not your right knee. And then come back through center, go the other way. Dip your right shoulder, look over your left. Do that 2 more times, switching sides, dipping your left, looking over your right. And switch. One more. And switch. Back through center. Great job. Let's come back through center and then rotate so that you're facing the top of your mat. We'll roll forward into our tabletop position, and we'll start with some cat-cows. So on your next inhale, drop your belly. On your next inhale, drop your belly, untuck your toes, look up at the sky. And exhale, untuck your toes, poof out your spine, look down at your mat. Let's go through that a few times on your own pace. Inhale as you look up. And exhale as you untuck your toes, look down at your mat. Really start to exaggerate the movement here. You start to warm up. And then let's start to invite some more organic movements. Maybe you move side to side, forwards and backwards, go in circles. Whatever feels good to warm you up today. Making all sorts of crazy shapes. Don't worry about what you look like. Just do whatever feels good in your body. And make sure that whatever you do on one side, you repeat on the other side so you stay nice and balanced. Meeting back in the middle in our tabletop. Let's reach your right hand high up to the sky and look up at it. And then thread your right hand under your left shoulder, bringing your left shoulder and the Your right hand goes under your left shoulder. You bring your right shoulder and the right side of your head to the mat for a twist. You can stay here, or maybe you bind your left hand behind your back, further emphasizing that twist. If you're feeling balanced, you can also play with lifting your left leg. So you're going to tuck your right toes here and lift your left leg high to the sky. Lower your left leg back down. Reground your left hand. Reach your right hand high to the sky. And we'll come back through center. Do the other side. Lifting your left hand high to the sky, look up at it. Rub your left hand under your right shoulder. Your left shoulder, left side of your head come down to the mat. Really feeling that twist. This might be plenty here, or if you want a little bit more, we can bring your right hand behind your back this time for a bind. Maybe you float your right leg, tucking your left toes, lifting your right leg high to the sky. Breathing here to help you balance. Bring your right leg back down. Reground your right hand. Relift your left hand. Nice and high. Coming back to our tabletop. We'll get into some wrist stretches now. So we'll start with dialing your fingers back so that your fingers are pointed towards your knees. The creases of your wrists are facing forward. And then maybe you start to rock forwards and backwards a little bit. Just for a little extra stretch. If this is too much, you can stay still. You don't want to push it too far. These little tendons in our wrists are delicate, but it's important to stretch them, especially if you're sitting at your computer typing all day. Breathing into it. Back to center. Let's flip your palms now so that they're facing up and your fingers are facing towards each other. So you're looking at your palms, your fingers are pointed in, and then start to just make fists with your hands and then release it. Fist and release. You can start to bend your elbows as you make a fist, straighten them as you come up. Feeling the stretch in your forearms. And then let's bring our hands back to center. You can just do some wrist circles here. Right and left. Other side. Right and left. Now bring your knees and your feet together so that your legs are touching. Let's tuck your toes and sit back on your feet. Might start to feel a spicy stretch here in your feet. Let's curl your toes under so that as your toes are all gripping on your mat. And then bring your hands above your behind your head. And we'll just stretch out the sides of our body at the same time. So just leaning one way and the other. Little distraction for my spicy foot stretch. Let's go one more each side. And then coming back to our tabletop, we'll tap out your feet. Extend your right foot behind you, but keep it on the mat, and then start to rock back and forth just from your right ankle. And then we'll lift your right foot up, just start to do some ankle circles, right or clockwise, and then counterclockwise. And switch, bring your right leg down, extend your left foot long behind you on the mat, start to rock back and forth from your left ankle. Again, really focusing on your breath in each movement here. Okay, and then lift your left leg up, start to do your ankle circles here. We'll start with going clockwise and counterclockwise. Come back to our tabletop. We'll quickly go through a plank pose, so start to get really strong in your hands, in your arms, really pushing the ground away from you. Really strong upper body, and then from here we'll extend both of your feet behind you. We'll hold our plank just for 3 breaths here. Then on your next exhale, we'll meet in a downward dog. Really strong in your arms here, pushing the ground away. All 5 of your knuckles are digging into the ground. You can feel the earth beneath you. You start to bend one leg and then the other. And then we'll slowly step your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. We'll meet in a forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows here, giving yourself a nice, generous bend in your knees. Swing side to side. We'll go into a twist. So bring your left hand down to the mat in front of you in between your feet. And bring your right hand high to the sky. Really bending into your left leg here, feeling the stretch in your right hamstring. And we'll switch, bringing your right hand down, your left hand comes up. Switching your legs too, so now you're bending your right leg, straightening your left leg. And then release back to your forward fold. We'll slowly rise up to standing, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Try to do it even slower than me. The last thing to come up is your head. And then we'll do a shoulder shrug at the top. Shake it out a little bit. Bring your hands above your head. Clasp them together at the top. And then bring your hands to heart center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Look out and lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. And we'll do one vinyasa. Starting in your plank, lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale for your upward dog. And exhale, push back to your downward dog. Extend your right foot high to the sky for a 3-legged dog. And then start to just do some circles here. Circling at your hip, your knee. You can keep your legs straight or bend it or do both, whatever feels good. Just make sure you balance it out on both sides. And then we'll step your right foot through. Coming into your lunge, keeping your left knee grounded. Start to just shift forwards and backwards. So start to shift back, straightening your right leg, coming into your half split. And before we settle into it here, we'll go forwards and back a couple times. Invite a little bit more movement in. On your next exhale, we'll meet in our half split. So that means you're keeping your right leg straight, or straight is a loose term here. You can give yourself a nice generous bend if you have tight hamstrings like me. And then you can either stay up here, or I prefer to fold forward over it. Try to square your hips as much as you can. It's really common here for your right hip to come forward, and that kind of takes you out of the stretch, doesn't make it nearly as effective. So try to imagine that you're pulling your right hip back so that your hips are in line, and then fold forward over that right leg. And we'll hang out here for a minute, so try to get comfortable, really focusing on your breath. On your next inhale, we'll come forward, re-bending your right leg, and then we'll tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and walk your hand over to the left to meet in a wide leg forward fold. And grab your elbows, sway side to side. I like to here point my toes in and my heels out, so you're a little bit pigeon-toed. Find it feels really, really good on the outside of your ankles. You can shift side to side, whatever feels good. You can walk your hands back. On your next exhale, we'll walk your hands all the way back to the top of the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left, coming into our plank, and we'll go through a vinyasa, lowering down. Inhale for your upward dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips back for your downward dog. Let's lift your left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog, and do the same circles here, circling out your hip. Going one way and then the other. And keep your leg bent or straight. And then re-extend your leg high to the sky. Step it through between your hands, coming into your lunge. We'll drop your right knee and start to shift your weight forwards and backwards, bending and straightening your left leg here before we land into our half split. Inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you sit back. Again, really trying to square your hips when you're in your half split. Let's go forward one more time, and then we'll stay in it. You can have a bend here in your left leg as you fold over it, pulling your left hip back so it's in line with your right. Focusing on your breath here. Trying to go a little bit deeper with each exhale. And on your next inhale, we'll come forward again, bending into your left leg, straightening your right. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and walk your hands to the right. We're coming back into our wide leg forward fold on the other side. You can grab your ankles here, it helps pull you into it a little bit further. This pose is technically considered an inversion because your head is above your heart. I mean, your heart is above your head, which is really good for your circulation. On your next exhale, we'll walk your hand back to the top of your mat, step your left foot back, and we'll go through a vinyasa. Inhaling for your upward dog. Tuck your toes, center your hips back. Exhale for your downward dog. Pull out your legs, one and then the other. Inhale, reach your right foot high to the sky. Exhale, come forward and step it on the outside of your right hand. We'll drop your left knee and tuck your left toes. Now you're in your lizard lunge. So sort of similar to the pose that we were going back and forth with the half split from, but now your right foot is on the outside of your right hand, and it's a little bit of a deeper stretch into your hips. You can stay up on your hands like this, or you can come down to maybe one forearm, maybe both. You can also play with extending your right knee out to the right, bringing it back in. Really feeling a deep stretch in your right hips here. Really trying to relax into it with your breath. One of the main practices of yoga, beyond just the physical poses, is allowing yourself to get comfortable being uncomfortable and pushing yourself to maybe hold something or stay with something longer than you initially want to, and showing yourself that you can push through it and you can do it, and holding these stretches for a longer period of time both allows them to become more effective and also just allows you to show yourself in little ways that even when things are hard or when you're a little bit uncomfortable, like you are strong enough to just keep pushing through and keep breathing through it, and you can do it and you come out to the other end just feeling that much better. So proud of you for showing up here today and holding these stretches with me longer than you maybe normally would or would feel comfortable, but it's so good for you in so many ways. Let's do 2 more breaths. And if you're not on your hands already, we'll come back up to them. And then if it feels okay in your body, you can start to reach your right hand back, bend your left foot, bend your left knee and grab your left foot for a little quad stretch. Try not to pull too hard on your foot here because that can be a little bit challenging for your knee. So just start to slowly pull it towards you. And release. Bring your right hand back to the top of your mat. Let's tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step your right foot back, and we'll kick back into a one-legged dog just to reset. Before we come forward again, this time bringing your right knee behind your right wrist. We're coming into our pigeon pose. I like to extend my left foot back nice and long here, kind of scooch it back to give myself as much space in my hips. And then try to get your hips to a point where you're not dumping on one side or the other. It's really even between both, where you could even lift your hands up and you could hold the pose so you're really balanced. And then let's walk your hands back, do a little back bend. You'll feel this in your left hip flexor potentially. And then slowly melt forward over your right leg. Allowing yourself to surrender here, feeling the weight of your body sinking into the earth. Again, really focusing on your breath. When you have a moment where you want to get out of it, or if you reach a sticky point in the stretch, really using your breath to help carry you through the moment. We'll do 2 more breaths here. And then we'll slowly wake back up. And then from here, we're going to roll back onto your butt. I'm going to flip around so that you can see me, but so I can show you where you're going. From your pigeon, you're just going to roll backwards, keeping your left leg straight and your right leg bent. But I'll flip this way so you can see what we're doing. So starting here, let's keep your torso facing kind of like perpendicular to your mat. So keep your torso facing straight out. Let's bring your hands above your head, and then we're going to reach over towards your left foot. You can give yourself a little bend in your left knee here if you need. Really feeling the stretch here on the right side of your body. And then inhale, come back through center. Now we'll twist so that you're looking at your left foot here. So your torso's at a different angle. You're facing this way now versus this way. And then bring your hands above your head again. We'll fold forward once again. Should feel a little different now, or actually quite different, that your body's at a different angle. Again, you can give yourself a bend in your left leg here as you fold forward. We'll meet back in center, slowly coming back up. Bring your right hand back behind you, planted on the ground. And then we're going to start to lift up, bringing your weight into your right hand. Lift up your hips. Extend your left hand behind you. Looking back at your left hand, driving your hips forward. And slowly come back down to seated. Cartwheel your hands to the top of your mat. I'll go back to where I was before, so this isn't confusing. So we'll cartwheel your hands to the top of your mat, pivoting onto your left toes and your right knee. Keeping your left leg lifted, your left knee lifted here. Start to lift your right knee up, and then extend your right foot under your left shoulder. So your foot's gonna go across your body. Then bring all your weight into your right hand here, extend your left hand up towards the sky. We call ball and triangle. And bring your left hand back to the mat. Bring your right foot back across, kick it up towards the sky. And let's do a vinyasa to reset. Inhale for your upward dog. And exhale for your downward dog. Do the other side now. Kicking your left foot high to the sky. We'll step it through on the outside of your left hand, coming into your lizard lunge. Dropping your right knee, untucking your right toes. Your left foot, again, is on the outside of your right hand. So nice and wide. You can stay up on your hands, or maybe come down to one forearm, maybe both forearms. Play with opening your left leg out to the side, bringing it back in. Really focusing on your breath here again. do 2 more breaths. And then if you're not on your hands already, we can slowly come back up. Optional quad stretch here. Start to bend your right leg and swing your left hand back to catch your right foot. Breathing into the stretch in your right quad. And then we'll release it slowly. Bring your left hand back to the mat. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then we'll start to come back, shooting your left leg high to the sky, one-legged dog just to reset. And then we'll come forward again, bringing your left knee behind your left wrist, coming into your pigeon. Again, I like to scoot my right leg back here. If you see that does my hips, it just gives you more space. So scooching it back, dropping your knee, and then untucking your toes. Again, try to keep your hips super even so that you could almost just balance without your hands. You're not dumping onto one side or the other. And then we'll walk your hands back, do a little back bend, look up at the sky, and then slowly melt forward over your left leg. Surrendering to your mat once again. Really connecting with your breath here to carry you through those challenging moments, to get you to the other side. We'll do 2 more breaths here. And slowly peel yourself back up. We'll roll back onto our hips again, keeping your right leg straight, left leg is bent. Keeping your torso facing straight out again. Bring your hands above your head and reach over to the side to your right foot. Give yourself a little bend in your knee here if needed. Feeling the stretch in the left side of your body. And inhale back through center. Let's twist your torso. So now you're looking at your right foot, and fold forward once again. Bending your right knee if you need. Reaching towards your right ankle, your right foot, your right toes, whatever you have. And inhale, we'll slowly peel back up. Bring your left hand behind your body and then start to lift your hips up, pushing them forward. Your right hand extends behind you. Look back towards your right hand. And slowly come back to seated. Cartwheel both of your hands to the top of your mat. Pivot onto your right toes and your left knee. Your right knee is lifted. Start to lift your left knee up and kick your left foot under your right shoulder across your body, opening up your fallen star. And then come back down. Pivoting onto your right toes, kick your left foot back behind you, and we'll do one final vinyasa. We'll meet in our downward dog. We'll come down to your knees to our tabletop, and we'll spin onto our backs for our last little sequence here. Coming onto your butt, we'll slowly roll down one vertebrae and then the other. Let's bring your feet flat to your mat with your knees bent. You should bring your feet back so you can just barely graze them with your fingertips. And then grounding through your feet, start to push the ground away, lift your hips up, coming into your bridge. And then slowly lower down one vertebrae and then the other. Lowering yourself down from your bridge. Extend your feet up high to the sky for legs up the wall. Love you. And then bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a really big hug. Thank your body for carrying you through today's practice. And then you can slowly roll onto your favorite side. Push yourself up to seated. And that is the end of today's stretch. Namaste.
End of the wall.